days of long ago, created by the cosmic legends of the universe. There stands one man, one great man, a man dedicated to preserving all that is good in pop culture. Loved by few, hated by many. Alone in his fortress of awesomeness, he battles fearlessly against the wolf, the evil, the unjust. To right that which is wrong, to stand for justice, to serve all mankind. He is the one, the only, the comic relief crusader. Hey guys, we're back again with another Titillating Tuesday. How's it going, everyone? Glad that everybody could be here and hopefully simultaneously broadcasting on YouTube and Rumble, because that's the way it should be every day of this week, but I can't, so whatever, that's all I gotta say. So I hope everybody had a good weekend, enjoyed these short 2 days. I'm starting to feel more and more that this should be like the Beatles song and go to 8 days a week. So, but that's just me, and I have nothing to say about time and space. So, but as we begin, let's welcome our guests.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
Admiral Teague, how's it going, sir?
Tonight we sail the ship into history.
Nice.
We'll once again engage in our game against the United States Navy. We'll lie off the coast of their largest city, listen to their rock and roll,
and bombard them. Frick.
Then we'll go to Cuba, where the waters are warm, and so is the companionship.
Super.
We'll meet with our leader, Trudeau.
Oh, you've heard about that.
I've heard a thing or two about Mr. Monsieur Trudeau, yes.
Oh, God. And also welcoming, we got Foggy Brains, who is now identifying as Toby. How's it going?
Hello, I'm Toby. Toby's? What the hell? I want to Toby. Toby, get out of here. Sorry about that. That bloody dragon. I'm telling you, Toby's the dragon on the show, and he likes to take over. No, go.
You know what? You don't choose your dragon. Your dragon chooses you.
He does. He's only 150 years old, but he's still a baby by dragon years, and he's gone back to his cave though. But hey, hi everybody.
How's it going?
It's going good, and I'll leave his name up there. Just there. He's sort of on the show, I guess. So
nice. Yeah. And also welcoming Pop Culture Republic. How's it going, sir?
Hey, it's going all right.
Hi, PCR.
Hey there.
Oh God, how was everybody's weekend?
I turned 51, so I'm old.
That's right.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I finally sat back and watched The Witcher 3 Season 3. Man, that's a good series. It's so, but I'm wondering what it's going to be like after Henry.
Yeah. Nice.
I had a great weekend. Although since like Saturday afternoon, it has been raining a fine mist in New York. I don't know if any other like parts of the world get this weather condition. It's not fog. It's a fine mist, and it's cold, and it's like nasty, and it's just sort of like it's not raining, but it's not raining. And
so it's like England.
It's very Britishy, and it taxes you. It taxes you.
That's
you'd rather it just rain at some point, and you're like, there's this whole thing like, how exactly do I dress for the the semi-rain? It's weird.
Right.
and it makes 59 degrees feel very cold. So, but aside from that, things been great.
Lovely. Let's see. Want to welcome everybody else that showed up so far. We got Dark Helmet that showed up to the chat. Hey, Dark Helmet. Nice to see you here, dude. We also got Killer Rabbit from space. Greetings.
Kill the rabbit. Kill the rabbit.
Love that guy. And we got Stark of Iron that showed up. Hail to you, sir. Glad to see you here. And we got the illustrious Gap After Dark. Hail to you, my dude.
He's a mighty warrior.
He is
good,
mighty.
And a good
friend. We also got Captain Finity that showed up. Most people don't know the simple difference between fog and mist. Well, that's true. So luckily we do in Canada because we have enough of it.
Especially here in New Brunswick. Oh gosh, yes.
Oh God, yeah. Tell me about it. Well, yeah. Why don't we kick the day off the show? We got a really good show for you tonight. Actually, it's not tonight, but wherever, depending on where you are, that's what it is. So let's kick off with some stupid news out there in the week. Yeah. Starting off with Oregon. Oregon governor signs bill to remove reading, writing, and math requirements for high school kids to help students of color. Well, could this not be more insulting for students of color? So,
or for anyone.
Thank you, Oregon governor, for basically saying that students of color are just too dumb to comprehend reading, writing, and
arithmetic. Now people say about racism, that's racist. What do you think? People of color aren't smart? What the hell?
Exactly.
That's insulting to them. Oh my God. That's
Well, I don't know, Massa. I just don't think so. I can comprehend the readings and writings.
I know amazing, intelligent people of color. Some of them run their own business here, locally even. Stop. This is ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
I don't see this ending well at all.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't see another term coming up, but yeah, Carla Brown, governor of Oregon. You're a freaking moron.
Yep.
God, if anybody deserves a slap in the face, that be you.
Pardon my language, but you're an asshole.
So, yes, because how could you just not? Oh, God, this just insinuates the wrong things on every level. God, you know what? It doesn't matter. How should I put this in a nice way? Doesn't matter what color you are, anybody can excel at anything, and to just remove, like essentially you're saying that, well, people of color ain't too intelligent enough to be figuring out this kind of
New York City
businesses. Like, stop.
Yeah.
New York City didn't throw down a color spectrum when they said no one who graduated before this year was guaranteed to be able to read. They're just like, it was everyone. They said it was everyone.
Can anybody remember a while back when some places just announced they were going to stop teaching cursive writing?
Yes.
Yeah.
At that point, I could just see it going downhill from there. Like kids will barely be able to print.
You're not allowed to talk with your hands.
Yeah, and it's like people will just print out what they want to write. Then pretty soon they'll be writing in crayon and not just kind of amazed why they don't get straight A's.
To
be fair, my cursive writing or whatever, when I write in script, as we say, it looks like someone having an aneurysm's EKG though. So I mean, there's a case to be made. Honestly, if there's one form of writing we can live without, it might be that one. Is it beautiful? Yes. Should we keep it? Yes. Like, am I good at it? Yeah, never have been. Can I read what I wrote? Not really.
Maybe.
Yeah, Killer Rabbit. Cripple. Just imagine you could cripple a whole generation by telling them to write in cursive and to drive a stick shift.
Exactly. I'd be okay. Killer Rabbit from space. Okay, and North American Wonder.
How do you sign your name though? If it was just
world in education. Yeah, it's true.
I thought, if you can't write in cursive, how do you sign your fucking? Can you imagine what future signatures are going to look like? Everyone's going to have like a glyph like Prince. It's like, and I witnessed him put his mark here, like the guy who reads and writes said.
in crayon.
Everybody have to carry those rubber stamps with them everywhere they go and just stamp it.
Guys, in the future, you ready? I remember today I went to the calligraphist. Really? What's that? Oh, he signs my documents for me. What does he do? Oh, he takes the keystrokes that we make and he translates them into an analog form on paper using only his fingers and his brain. Like, whoa.
Brilliant. So brilliant.
What kind of coding is that? Like, go ahead. So who needs wind
Gap
talkers,
After Dark has it. Sign your name with an X or a symbol. Oh, so like Prince. Or the artist formerly known as Prince. Or
that's what
we'll just
all
go
I can
think
of is Prince was the guy who did that.
The movie Idiocracy is coming alive right now.
Oh, yeah, it's not even a movie; it's a documentary.
It's a documentary now.
Yeah,
it is. It is
a documentary about 10 years ago. We've been stupid for a while.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah. So that's So that's right. Let's see. Another thing that I happened to see out there. This was hilarious. So, people out there, you might be raising a terrorist. So, here we go. Is your child a far right extremist?
Oh,
look, God. Look for the warning signs. I'm gonna blow this up for everybody because
interest in physical fitness. What?
Yes, look for the warning signs. Aversion to drugs and alcohol and pornography. Oh my God. Interest in physical fitness and mental well-being. Oh, jeez, no.
Now this is a joke. This has to be. This can't even be.
Growing collection of classic literature.
Mental wellness. This is just. Yeah, it has.
Yes, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid they read classic literature like, I don't know, Herman Melville or something like that, or
pointed at a Jackson Pollock and said, "That's not art."
Yeah, exactly.
Except for the alcohol, I do all of it. Yeah.
Monogamy or desire to marry and procreate.
And I'm not right.
The marry part maybe is a little bit obsessive, but I mean the idea that you just want. I mean, everything on this is pretty much normal. Aversion to pornography and alcohol, while altruistic, are not. What age group are we talking about? Like late high school? Yeah, being averse to like drugs, alcohol, and pornography when you're 17 might be a little strange, but I wouldn't be upset if that was the way my kid felt.
Yeah.
These are all the things you would hope for in a. These are all the things you would hope for in a normal, well-adjusted society filled with normal, well-adjusted people.
Oh, here's another one. Increased time spent outdoors or in nature.
Right,
because heaven forbid your kid sees the outside world. So
that's where they get the saying, touch grass now. I think.
Well, what I feel good about is right. So if your kid is sitting in a room in front of a huge poster of McVeigh, but he's just on the computer talking to people, he's not outdoors doing things, so it's safe.
That's right. Yeah,
exactly. Maybe stop playing video games for 10 hours a day.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like Gap says,
never
warning signs if your child likes Justin Trudeau dressed up as Pink Barbie.
Wow. You know, I'm getting a little tired of you.
Or he likes to wear blackface too, but
well, yeah, exactly. And Nazis apparently now. So
dragging other Cubans through the mud. I think my fellow Cuban Justin Trudeau is one of the most admirable world leaders, and it makes me want to sing the Internationale. And it reminds me of that scene from Hunt for Red October, where Sean Connery is like, let them sing. And they're like, oh, Canada, as the Red October goes. You'll fight our old adversaries, the capitalists. Oh, true and native land.
Exactly.
And like Damien Thorne is like, Captain, shouldn't we stop them from singing? He's like, no, Antichrist. Let them sing. True patriot love.
Oh, God. Another one here. Appreciation for nation, history, and culture. That's right, because you don't want them to grow up to be, some sort of charismatic bore by learning history or culture or learning anything that made certain countries memorable and great and whatnot.
Well, there's this new
Well,
thing in the
well,
States.
here's
I
the
don't know
thing.
about
Which
in it.
country? Which country?
Well, there's a big thing going on in the States right now that I've noticed. I follow some TikTokers that are stupid. This one woman says, I don't feel safe with a guy going down the street with an American flag in his window. What? Isn't that what? It's he's racist. What? He supports his country. How is that? Oh no.
As opposed to people from other countries walking across our southern border carrying their flag of their country.
Oh, Pop, come on. They're all brain surgeons and rocket scientists and stuff like that. Don't be racist. So, disdain for modernism and postmodernism.
That defeats the purpose. Yeah, it's got to be said because that's
So
actually.
This can't be
if
real.
your kid's like
satire.
real music ends with Katy Perry, you're like, all right, he's okay.
Yeah.
Ew.
Miley Cyrus's first 2 albums, yes, but after that, she's a sellout. It's okay. I'm proud of him.
Yes, let's go back to the days of Lord of the Flies and stuff like that. So, yeah, because
Biggie has the conch.
Cool. Exactly. So, God, like seriously, like oh God,
this can't be real.
No, well, apparently it is because I like to report on a lot of this news that comes out. So, yeah,
the internet's been around too long for me. The internet's around too long for me to dismiss or accept this. Like this is falling into Schrodinger's like reality. It's like if I look at it the right way, I can totally believe it. And if I open the box again 1 moment later, it may just be gone. But my feeling is like, is there people out there who believe this? Yeah.
Yes.
Are there a lot of them? Are there a whole lot of them? I hope not.
They're just
really.
the loud ones. That's the
exactly. Are there people out there who would make these memes? You know what? I just want to thank the meme harvesters of the world for keeping us supplied with the finest of memes.
Exactly.
People that believe this also believe in neo-pronouns, but I digress.
Yeah. Stark of Iron says, warning signs, if they don't come to your place of employment, not wearing cat ears and neon pink wig and dress. Yes, I have those co-workers. And he's married to a wife. The fuck? Jeez. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Makes me want a uniform policy at the job. Yeah. Oh, and
that's why I think everyone should just wear Starfleet uniforms all the time. We'll all look the same. An idea.
And hail to Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips.
Hi, Real Wade.
Hello.
Yeah, nice to see you here, man. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Gap. I have an American flag hanging out in front of my yard or in front of my house. Cool. There you go. That's right. Yeah, maybe I should put on a Star Trek Federation flag.
You should hang out a Federation flag. Better than the flag of your. Better than the badge of shame that is the molasses tree leaf symbol of your. Well, I mean, better late than never, right? I mean, I like how in the last couple of months we've had the Titanic got a few more billionaires, and now like we're gonna refight World War II, and like the Canadians seem to have picked up the torch. Congratulations on that!
Yeah, I know. Shall I say
picked up the torchlight parade?
Yep.
Canada, oh Canada, what are you guys doing?
I know, what is going on up there?
Well, let's see.
What the fuck is going on up there?
Remember what Gogo 13 used to do? We need to introduce him to Trudeau. Anyway, I didn't say that aloud.
I think so. 2 cents can solve a lot of problems. That's all I'll say. So,
here.
Yeah, because apparently Piano Dick Player decided to pay a visit, and our clown blackface prime minister decided to give away another $650 million to Ukraine because reasons. And on top of that, he decided to hire a former SS Nazi soldier into the House of Commons as well.
And he won't pay the vets the proper money or give the elderly, the retired enough money and funds. But, screw them, but just give it to foreign.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, trying to pass the buck to the Speaker of the House and say, well, he should have vetted him. Well,
I just want to say,
vetted him, so...
You know what? I don't remember this guy. I don't remember him for the unit. Foggy, Mike, PCR. We served together. I don't remember. Did he maybe serve in the other company with Pope Benedict? Because I don't remember.
Yeah,
I was born in 1653 in Scotland, and I've been in a few conflicts. And I mean, if this is true, fine. But I don't remember this guy. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it could still be true.
Yeah, you might be a bit ahead of my time by a few hundred years.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I was born in 1653 in Scotland, but when you were born right before your nation's civil war. Nice job at the Peace Grove at Gettysburg, there, PCR. I remember you from that. I remember you from that engagement. I was there with Sickles, New York Brigade.
There we go. And our own Killer Rabbit has a Canadian flag in their backyard. There you go. Nice to know that you are a patriotic Killer Rabbit from space. So we're glad to have you in our country.
I have the flag of the state of New York flying off of my my what do you call it? My fire escape.
As well, you should. So let's get to
older than the American flag.
So let's get to some good news here for a change. This lately from Disney. So remember that Snow White movie? Well, apparently Disney reportedly fires Rachel Zegler from Snow White live action movie.
I think here's the problem. The movie is still a thing that exists and won't be changed. He was actually the ideal person in that role if you didn't want this movie, which is what I think is the only solution. I don't want this movie. Rachel Zegler just went out there and repeated what she was told. Yes. Does anybody think this came from anything else? Does anybody think that she freelanced these ideas? Disney told her this, and she was like, okay. They're like, did you know that men are keeping you down? And she's like, really? And they're like, oh, yeah. Men are the real problem. In fact, we're going to make a Snow White movie. Now, don't get angry, but men will. But we're going to redefine Snow White to be about women. Snow White, what's that? Oh, don't worry. It's a bad racist thing. You don't have to worry about it. Don't watch it. Whatever you do, don't watch it. And she's like, okay. And she just passed that on. So the fact that they're recasting this is possibly, ironically, a curse. Because if we get someone who's like, I can only imagine, like, who's going to be, like, it's the only person in America who represents female Latinos seems to be Jennifer Lopez. I'm going to guess it's going to be Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, probably. There you go. Only Canada has a Foggy Bottom. Yes, we do. He is our illustrious Foggy Bottom. So, and we're glad to have him. So, and while Dark Helmet snips his finger, there we go. So, that gal got fired from another movie. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not surprised by that.
No, I am not. So let's have a look at the article. In the past, Disney has been known to remove actors from their franchises if bad publicity was at hand. Now reports are claiming that they have done this with their upcoming Snow White live-action movie following the large amounts of scandal and drama that the film is undergoing before the trailer has ever been released. I don't know why there's such a big gap here. So, God, I hate these.
Oh, your ad blocker took out something. Is my bet.
Yeah, more than likely. So, yeah, because as we're well aware, she's been having a big mouth lately, and of course,
this is the best. She looks very close to the original Snow White there, though. That's a better vision of Snow White. Rachel Zegler, good job there.
Oh really makeup just does wonders. It does.
Yeah, and that's the most. She looks much more lively and approachable here.
Yeah,
and more.
I gotta hand it to her for basically spilling out the entire content of the movie. Before it was ever edited or released or anything like that. So Rachel.
Here's the problem. She's like 22 years old, and they didn't tell her. By the way, everyone hates this idea. They're like, listen to this great fucking idea, because she's too. You can't tell her the truth. She just proved that, if you're gonna try to deceive people, the first person you got to try to put one over on is her. But the problem is she thought it was a good idea to go out there and repeat these things. Like, I know I'm in safe water here because my boss told me we were reclaiming this fucked up thing for people who, got screwed out of it the first time.
That's right. It's not a coincidence that Snow White here is just, put beside this kind of character. So this kind of dwarf. What was it? Dummy. I forget their names. You know what? I
Dopey.
honestly do.
It's
Dopey.
good.
Dopey. That's the one.
Dopey. Yes, it's Dopey.
Yeah. Frick. So, if you've been following the live-action Snow White drama,
Floopy. Who are the other ones? Floopy. Sloopy. I'll remember. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
As of late, you know that many Disney fans are not too happy with the lead actor Rachel Ziegler, who has shown a lot of hatred towards the original storyline of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which came out in 1937. The film that kicked off Walt Disney's entry into the world of feature films in 1937 has remained beloved for years. So when Disney announced that they would be making a live action of the first ever Disney princess, many were excited. Well, that's debatable. So, because they're not really having a good track record for
in the best of faith,
almost all of their live action.
In the best of faith, if they had tried, like, I don't think Jungle Book live action is all that great, but from what I heard, like, that was a full court press to make a good movie, and it's at least it doesn't embarrass the source too much the way some of these others do. So maybe you'd be excited if you took in like the perspective that maybe it'll be as good as that Jungle Book, but that's now a long time and a bunch of bad live remakes ago. Like, you have no reason,
exactly.
You know, like you would have to be described as optimistic or, you know, naive.
Yeah. No, you know what? I mean, because Jungle Book, I'm not going to say it was great. It wasn't too bad. I thought it was all right. That's pretty much it. Right?
Is it fair to say we'd like it better if it hadn't led to all these terrible low effort Little Mermaid type remake?
Yeah. See, I'd be okay with that. Dark Helmet. Yeah, she got what she deserved. Maybe if Disney would stop hiring wankers and hiring talent, they'd be better off. She never really been in any good movies I know of. No, that's true.
So her West Side Story movie fails. She can sing and dance allegedly with skill, apparently, but has not, like, there's not a lot of market for that. Dark Helmet's right, of course.
Yeah.
But I would just say she did get what she deserved. But here's the thing, like, I don't know if she wasn't like Billy Madison by Disney. She might have been less stupid before she talked to them. That's the only thing and I don't disagree with anything Dark Helmet said. It's just like it makes me think. It's like, no, this actually sounds like she was like this blank sheet of vapid paper, and they're like, listen to we listen to our seductive, comforting lies, and she was like,
"That's right.
It's all the fault of like honestly, I think they like she got Billy Madison by the powers that be at Disney. It's like, we're all dumber for having listened to what you said."
Exactly. Yeah, I like Gap's reply. Yeah, discount Snow White, but then Dark Helmet says no. It's Timu Snow White.
Yeah, that's pretty fitting.
What is that? What is that? Does that mean Tex-Mex or?
No, Temu is another service like Amazon or Wish.
That's like the Wish version of yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so you ordered Snow White from Amazon, and it's like I ordered Klingons from Amazon, and all I got was the Kazons because I ordered Klingons from Wish, and all I got was these Kazons. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Killer Rabbit. Yeah, if it gets made, they may well throw it in on D+ because there's going to. There's going to lose money on box office and advertising dollars. No, you're right. Yeah.
They're really
if they even go through with it, because I just can't imagine them actually producing this and putting it out there after so much bad press.
Although with the you know what? These people have not shown an aversion to bad press. They think that any press is good press. They think they're the Rolling Stones. And also they also think that they can spin a narrative back in their direction at any point as long as the narrative has momentum. We have not seen these people learn any lessons or change. This is the same problems that doomed the end of Lost. And this is the same writing and same writing outlook.
This is a boomerang that's not coming back.
Firing her is a good step in the right direction.
I honestly think this is such a huge self-own that you've got to stop this now and just not have it because you are absolutely.
I think so as well.
It's like instead of giving your entire like with Disney, like it's just like Star Wars. It's like we're gonna get Star Wars on a heroin habit. Like it'll be fine, and it's like what happened to my Star Wars? All it does is lay around the house now. And it's like with like the MCU, it's like we're going to start them on cigarettes, see how it works out. And like, it's like, what's up with our MCU? All they do now is smoke cigarettes and whatever. And then with their own product, they're like, we've decided nice, relaxing crack would be exactly what this. And it's like, so the first time you see like Snow White, it's like Snow White the crackhead basically, and it's like you're going to reverse engineer from that. You're going to do this enormous canonical damage to your own product. It's going to say Disney Snow White on it. Just don't do this. Don't even make a TV show.
I mean, what can I say? Nobody likes an Adolf Hitler. So,
you know what? Until Amber Heard came along, people didn't have that opinion of that man.
Exactly.
She destroyed those initials for everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know what? People don't talk about the good things Amber Heard did, like build the Autobahn.
Oh yeah, of course. But Jennifer Lawrence did it first, of course. Disney cast.
She designed it. Yes, that's true.
Rachel Ziegler in her role, although her ethnicity did cause a little backlash. Oh, a little? I don't think so.
The title.
Like massive. Yes.
What's that called? Backlash. What can I put the deep bullshitifier on this? Her stunt casting had the desired effect and drew the expected remarks from legitimately stunned people. Just call that legitimately
stunned, like it's Snow White.
Yeah.
And they didn't say reimagining.
Is meant to be as white as snow. There we go. Many were happy with the casting choice, as Ziegler had recently shared her singing chops as Maria in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Since then,
she's good. But here's the thing: Rachel Ziegler, even like that, is not the name. So she's not the person who comes to mind when you say meet my friend Rachel Ziegler, and you turn around. I'm expecting someone like much different, somewhere between Rachel Weisz and like Heidi Klum with the name Rachel Ziegler. It's just so like it's just the whole thing is just quixotically weird.
Exactly. Yep. Dark Helmet. Yep. She's a spoiled brat that has never been told no. Nope. You are correct. 100%. So
he's probably right about
that. Hearing it.
Although we can't discount that Disney made whatever problem she had worse by empowering her, putting her out there like that, and telling her like she did not make up that line of bullshit about why Snow White is bad, because she was like clearly demonstrated that she had not seen the movie except maybe like a YouTube stub.
Yeah. But since then, things have taken a dark turn. Dun, dun,
I'm not trying to excuse her, by the way. I'm not excusing Ziegler at all. I'm just saying, like, I do think whatever problem she had, Disney was like steroids for them. That's all I'm saying, guys.
Yeah, more likely.
I agree with that comment too.
We have, as of late, seen Disney look to be more inclusive, both on screen and within their theme parks. Oh yeah, God, seeing guys dress up in dresses with beards. Yeah, that's totally the way to go, Disney. Disney launched their Reimagine Tomorrow initiative. Oh boy. And boy, did they ever reimagine tomorrow today, stating that we haven't always got things right. No, you're kidding. This came after the cast member dress code changed when it came to the Disney look, allowing cast members to express themselves more while at work. On top of that, we have already heard of the progress coming along on the new Princess and the Frog attraction, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, that is replacing Splash Mountain's racist undertone scenes due to the Song of the South IP, as well as changing the storyline on both Walt Disney World Resorts and Walt Disneyland Resorts Jungle Cruise attraction to ensure cultural appropriation disappears.
I'm old enough to remember when they unironically just had Song of the South out in movie theaters, and I simply saw it with my mom as a little kid. Like we went to see it was like the Aristocats and that. It was like one of those things like they showed 2 Disney movies in a row and maybe like a Disney short in the middle. You know, it was like more to get people in the movie theater and buying concessions and stuff. And like I saw that movie, and that movie's not like out of the circulation all that long, and probably should be continued. And then like no disclaimer across it, but maybe like have someone set it up. You know what I mean? Like, hi, this is a movie from this particular year. There, and don't get someone who's going to try to like wokeify it. Get like someone with respect as like a middle of the road historian, and just be like, social historian, and like someone who has some respect. And I don't know if I could suggest a name, but just like, this is very much a product of its time. Keep that in context. This guy was president. This was the biggest story of the year. This was the biggest record. This was the biggest movie. Here you go. Bye. That might be all you need. Put it in context. Just to give you an idea, a can of peaches cost 5 cents, and your wages an hour were 35 cents.
Exactly.
And a beer was 15 cents.
Back in the day.
Remember that? Yeah. After the Civil War, too.
I do.
After the Civil War, beer was cheap. And did we ever get laid after the Battle of Gettysburg, man?
Lucky bastards. All we have is 1812. So... But Disney has also really shaken things up a bit by
you didn't take us. You didn't try to beat the blockade and go there and fight against the Union for the South. Come on. You're a Highlander too. Mike is 330 years old. People, we pretends to be. He plays his games. I play mine. I don't know what landmark he has to go up to, but tonight I'll be on the roof of that building with my sword.
I try to remain modest. So
Silver Cup Studios, that's where I'll be. Holy ground.
Oh, and hail JRC 99. How's it going, dude?
Hi, buddy.
Hello.
Oh, ceiling tiles.
Exactly. I love your dramatic. So, but apparently, they've been casting actors of any race into live action characters that were originally animated as Caucasian, because you know what? You got to keep up those diversity hires, because that's good. That's good.
The way you phrase that would imply that they still cast Caucasians in that role. So only people who are evil.
Well, from the previous photo, apparently maybe 1, maybe 2. So, you got to keep that quota. So for years, Disney has stuck to the animated look of these characters, bringing them to life on attractions and within the parks, and really hammering on a certain look into the minds of guests and fans. So when they announced an iconic character like Ariel from The Little Mermaid would be played by Grownish star Halle Bailey, the internet blew up an uproar. Yeah, Halle Berry would have been. Oh, that would have been good. So, in a way,
she was good in Moonfall.
Yeah, I didn't mind her prancing around as Catwoman. Although that was a horrible movie.
That was a terrible. So, you know what? Just very quickly, that Catwoman movie, when it was released, I was at a multiplex, and that's when I realized the moment where I was like, "Wow, more than half the movies at this 5-movie multiplex are superhero." It was like that, maybe a Batman movie, and like Spider-Man 1 were all out at the same time. I'm like, shit, like 3 out of 5 movies at this theater. That's maybe also playing like Air Force One, are all superhero movies. And I'm like, that's going to be weird. I wonder, that must just be a fluke. That can't last. And I don't think we've ever gone back to less than half.
No, not really. So it was certainly not against Halle's talent and ability to play the role, as she sings spectacularly. The main issue that some had issues with is that the fact that she's black and Ariel is drawn as white. Oh, and let's not forget that, the character from whence the story comes from in Europe is,
white.
Yeah.
This is why I keep saying what we really need to do is challenge these people to show what they're all about. Nixon and the Watergate scandal with Whoopi Goldberg as Nixon. Make that happen. Make me believe. Well, she's an ERGOT, right? She has an Academy Award, a Grammy, a Tony, and whatever the other one is. But let's see her, an Emmy. Let's see her go out there and like be Richard Nixon. And I keep saying I want Eva Longoria as Kissinger, but if someone else has someone else in mind that they think that might be able to fill the role that has the gravitas to play Kissinger, go ahead. But I'm saying Whoopi Goldberg is Richard Nixon. Make it happen and convince me, or stop with this already.
I'll see you that, and I'll raise you Nick Cage as Obama in a Obama documentary.
Oh my God! I would see that twice. It wouldn't even have to be good. That's just funny. I'm just trying to imagine Nick Cage as Obama, right? And like even just like stick with
Okay, I'm gonna
stick with
come
the
in
Obama
as the,
like story that as we
I
go.
haven't seen the movie yet with her as Ariel, but I don't hate
Right.
her as an actress. She didn't come out and
No.
mouth stuff off, and she wasn't like here. So she's actually a good actress, a beautiful voice.
How'd you read behind?
Write her an original character. Like she deserves that respect to have her own character.
With the Little Mermaid actress, you more had to read between the lines, but you got the same things. It's like it seems like this is something that they broadcast to them.
Oh yeah,
it is.
But she wasn't really as loud as her, so.
No,
that's true.
I think because people challenge your voice right away.
No. JRC says, did you see my super short review of The Little Mermaid 2023? Seriously, Disney dodged a bullet while being Swiss cheese. Yep.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor, Nick Cage.
Oh my God! Wait, hold on. Let's take this one step further. Let's have David Tennant and Jodie Whittaker standing behind him, playing roles as members of his cabinet, and he'll be like, "If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor." And like they would just both be nodding there.
Oh gosh.
Oh, was that? I guess I nailed the Nick Cage there based on the laugh.
Yeah.
I did my best.
Yeah,
that was it. That was it.
You may find yourself in a situation where you want to keep your doctor. Well, that's all right with me. I don't have a problem with it. Okay.
Although I would rather see David Tennant play Michelle Obama. So just saying.
Yeah. You know what? For Michelle Obama, why not like the real, like either the real Mrs. Nicolas Cage or I don't know who could play Michelle. Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey.
Yeah.
Haley Bailey.
Yeah.
Haley Bailey as Michelle Obama. Haley Bailey. She could sing.
Here we go. Oh, and welcome to William
Palmieri. Hi, William.
I hope I pronounced that right.
Sir.
How's it going, dude? Nice to see you in the chat. So
I believe it's Palmieri, like Palmentieri.
I hope so, and I hope I'm not butchering it. Please don't kill me. So anyway, so while many fans were highly supportive, others immediately took to Twitter because, of course, you have to have that Twitter mob and other social media platforms. Yeah, exactly. That's right. X now. And other social media platforms to express their frustrations about the casting of the Disney princess character. The hashtag not my Ariel immediately began to trend. Well, yeah, because that was like everywhere. Damn. Most recently, the upcoming Snow White live action film starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot has hit some heat. No kidding, right? Because, well, let's face it, Rachel Zegler compared to Gal Gadot. Mirror on the wall. I don't know who's the first of them all. I'd pick Gal Gadot over Rachel Zegler like in a heartbeat. I'm not gonna lie. If those were my two choices, it's not gonna be Rachel. I'm sorry. It's gonna be this hot Israeli babe compared to frustrated 20-some-year-old former teeny bopper with her attitude, Rachel Zegler. So
I was gonna say, if we could give both of them a lobotomy, it's like Rachel Zegler's not bad looking, but then that joke depends on the idea that you could give Gal Gadot a lobotomy. She already is kind of a blank piece of paper as far as personality goes. I'm not saying she's a bad person at all. I'm just saying, what do we know about her? She's like, I like to work out. It's like, we noticed. Yeah, we noticed.
She was a soldier in whatchamacallit army at one time, though, I think.
And the IDF. Yeah, she was. Which is mandatory over in Israel,
right. They have the draft. I also think I would be surprised if she wasn't in their psych ops operation because they have some of the best airport security in the world. And what they do is they have women who are really beautiful walk up to people who are sus and start acting like they're interested in them to see how kooky they act in response. And sometimes people say anything why are you here? It's like, to overthrow your government by building a WMD on the west. And they're like, she's like, okay, yeah, hold on right here. I'm just gonna go get my girlfriend. And then guys with Uzis running on you. So she was I would you'd be crazy to use her for anything but that. But I bet she could probably handle anti-tank weapon or an anti-aircraft gun really well, as well as Pope Benedict.
Exactly. So there are two main instances that cause fans to be outraged with the upcoming film. No, really? First, there will be no dwarfs in the film, as we pretty much all know anyway by now, but 7 magical creatures, which deviates from the iconic story that Walt Disney himself created on screen. The second comes from an interview where Ziegler and Godot say that Snow White will not be having a Prince Charming, and there is no one who needs to save her. Because why?
Wow.
Because who gives a damn about male chivalry and whatnot, and the fact that a prince out of all the women in the land picked you that he found beautiful to save.
That what they call dwarves are like community theater rejects or something.
Exactly.
And one of them does appear.
Dwarf that appeared in a certain Christmas movie called Elf that freaking ruined it for people of smaller stature.
First of all, Bob Newhart is great. Second of all, like there is one of the 7 homeless hobos seems to be a dwarf of some kind.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
One of them seems to still be like very small in stature, or however you want to put it.
Teeny.
Well, Dylan Mark was at Postal. He used to play Hornswoggle in WWE. He's a wrestler. He spoke out against that. He was pissed because he's like, "You're taking our roles," and he despised what Peter Dinklage said because he's like, "You don't get a lot of mainstream roles. This was for us. What the hell? What is wrong with you?" But
exactly.
Ziegler rhymes with. I'll just leave it right there.
Tickler. Anyway, at this point, fans of creating a totally different film and creating a pseudo-feminist film that makes Snow White's ideals and behaviors be seen as wrong. Who could have guessed? Creating a corrupt narrative for females who may be dreaming of finding their Prince Charming or behaving as more of a softer character than someone who is constantly trying to be the leader, as Ziegler said Snow White will now be. With this, fans
not a leader, I'm a community organizer, bro.
Woke agenda. Yeah, exactly. Right. My daddy said I could be a strong leader like him. I ain't need no man. So, God.
She saw too many commercials with President Obama talking about like well, and she's it's like she's not even as smart as President Obama.
Then what's the point of even having Prince Charming in the film then? Right?
Oh, he'll be your goofy sidekick, straight white guy you can make fun of. I don't know.
Exactly.
Didn't she say that he's not a
What's
prince,
even the point of having this movie?
Yeah, that's the world.
Just make an original comedy. It sounds like.
Go ahead, Pop. What was that again?
Oh, what's even the point of having this movie? I mean, nobody wants it. We don't want it. Nobody's going to watch it. If they make it and release it, it's going to fail. They're going to fall back on the tried and true tactic of blaming the fans and probably end up writing it off their taxes.
Yeah, they'll be like, fans are toxic. But no.
I know. It's ridiculous. This amount of backlash has even led to rumors of the film's cancellation due to
we can only hope.
Yeah, exactly.
Please. Although the actors' strike ending, the fact that production looks like it's going to start again for most people is it might save this thing, because it looked like if this had gone on a week or two more, they would have been able to spike the football and just be like, we're done. Probably. We're cutting our losses here.
Due to the response of the film being overwhelmingly negative, releasing it in theaters would just continue to have a backlash spread, as there would be more to discuss. Pulling it would leave the company with a huge financial loss, but it may protect their reputation. That being said, those rumors are currently just that, rumors. So now the new rumor has been
that would, by the way, that assumes what we also all said, that they're going to have the most Blackadder World War I business approach about this stupid fucking idea that you could possibly have. It's like just knocking the toy soldiers off the table. It's like billions of dollars. How many times can you do this? It's so hubristic. Even if you're like 60 to 80 to $100 million in,
Yep.
This looks like if you go all the way to $200 million and then 200 million more to promote it, that's like rounded up $500 million, and you're going to lose it all. How many tax shelters can you earn? How many times can you, like, you have just been like shooting your stock in the foot over and over. Yep. Consumer and stockholder confidence is at a low. You're being litigated against by your own shareholders. I mean, yep. for the love of God, Disney, calm down. But stop self-owning.
Killer Rabbit from Space, yeah, watching Snow White jumping in front of a train, which would hurt less. Exactly.
Ozzy Osbourne would know. I could Snow White with and she sings Crazy Train and then does that.
Yes.
It's why not? Like, it'd be better than paying for another Lin-Manuel Miranda song.
But now, in a new rumor that's been revealed, which notes that Ziegler has been fired by the Disney company and ousted from her role as Snow White. This would follow recent reports that claim Ziegler is no longer set to star in Paddington 3 also. This series of films.
Could you imagine what she would have said about Paddington? I feel like that's a loss. She didn't make it to the publicity tour. He's basically a sex doll, right? I mean, I've seen Ted. This is no Ted.
Yeah. This series of films starring the lovable bear has grown into one of the most successful family-friendly franchises. Oh boy. Ziegler has reportedly been cut from the film and will be recast as a result of the ongoing Hollywood strikes, which, of course, as we just mentioned, is coming to an end. Anyway, these strikes have started 3 months ago and have affected countless projects, both in television and film production as well. So, but now TikTok user Wood and Russell is claiming Disney fired their princess star. The creator states she has recently been fired from Disney's remake of Snow White that she's been starring in. Oh, let's have a listen, shall we?
Let's talk about Rachel Ziegler for a moment. She's an actor, and she's recently been fired from Disney's remake Snow White that she was starring in. Rachel's career, not only on set, rumors of her behavior and how unlikable she was to work with, but also you can see that privilege and personality come out in some of the interviews in West Side Story. For her, because most of those interviews were cast interviews, she slightly went under the radar in terms of how unlikable she was. And she is one of the reasons why there was a lot of controversy in West Side Story. But cut to Disney and their decision to fire her. Great on them, and I'll tell you why. Unfortunately, she is so irritating to listen to in interviews. She's so privileged and so woke that Disney has got so much kickback from how vile her interviews are and how unlikable her personality is, that they've actually fired her to the tune of hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars at a loss for Disney. Hats off to Disney for finally doing the right thing in terms of getting rid of privileged, holier than thou, big mouth actresses, or who actually ruin.
Nice. Okay. There we go. Love it. So, yeah, vile
I'm glad I figured out what was going on there, because at first I was like, oh my god, this guy's on meth, but he was just roboting and buffering.
Yeah.
It seems like you're better off just trying to play you know what? You're better off playing it off of the browser and screen share than you are downloading it. Like the less work is better on Streamlabs because it's so weird, especially lately.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Because apparently I just been informed that for some odd reason this is not even streaming to Rumble now. So
wow.
Yeah.
That would not be a content match, but let me take a look over at Rumble and I'll tell you about that in a minute. I'll let you know if you're on.
Really, really weird. So
let me just sub to you
wonder
first.
why.
I didn't know you're on Rumble, huh?
I am.
Just kidding.
Just
kidding. Just kidding. I'm on Rumble too, ladies and gentlemen. Admiral Teague, your buddy Admiral Teague. It looks like maybe it didn't happen at all on Rumble. Have you had the check mark up there in your browser? Do you see the check mark in Streamlabs?
Yeah,
like the weird check mark?
Yeah, no, it was there, and then apparently it disappeared. So that's really weird.
Try to reinsert the RTMP code.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You should probably always tweet yourself the RTMP code so that you can re-enter it during the stream to try to take back over. Or if you have two channels, you can just switch to the other one and then send the link out again. But yeah, Rumble's crashy when there's a lot going on. Are there political events today? Oh, wait, I forgot. The Canadians made a little bit of a mistake. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah,
that could be it.
It could be crashy on Rumble. Right now, I got Danny Bonaducci, it looks like.
What?
Oh, nice. Yeah, so sorry, guys, for
CBD.
everybody on Rumble. So I will try to do better next time. And Sark of Iron, you're going to go. Thank you very much.
You got 80 views while you were there.
Man. Huh, amazing.
You got 80 views in your time there. Thank all of you. Sorry, Rumble.
Yeah, sorry,
we
Rumble.
still love you, you know.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, but yeah, apparently she was problematic in West Side Story, and and apparently now Snow White. So it seems like a lot of people are not liking her whatsoever, which brings a smile to my heart. So, yeah.
I still don't know that she said anything that they don't believe. I just think that she didn't do a great job.
No, not really. So, unlike Haley Ziegler's skin color played less of a role in her public scrutiny, although she did mention that Snow White's skin was meant to be white as snow, and Ziegler's was not. It was her reported woke behavior and hatred of the animated film she would be bringing to life that truly made headlines. No kidding. Who knew? Who knew? Oh my god!
Men bad. No, need no man. What? It's part of the story. It's a love story.
It is.
Yes, that's what it is.
It's like when you change the story to a point that it's not the story, you might as well just put that time and energy and effort into creating something original.
Yes, exactly.
These people do not have an original bone in their body. All they know is remake, reboot, rehash.
They're trying
Springtime for Ziegler is a hit.
They're trying to go off. They're trying to go off the fame.
Bialystok and Bloom.
But they're going off the notoriety of such a brilliant IP. You know, it's amazing. I love the original Snow White. It's brilliant. But they're trying to take it, use that name, and let's push this new narrative. No, it's not going to work.
It's so iconic that you shouldn't touch it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But hey, what do they know? All they do now is like spray paint like a devil horns and a mustache on the Mona Lisa all day. Like that's basically what they. That's basically. I mean, look at some of this Star Wars shit. I mean, I understand Ahsoka is supposedly better lately, but like that starts a really long time and hit basement. Like redefined the meaning of rock bottom like 3 times before it woke up and started stumbling forward. It was like a bad circuitous non-event for a really long time.
And I love the Ahsoka character from Clone Wars and all those other classics, you know, but I
this ain't that Ahsoka.
No,
that
exactly.
Ahsoka had a range, and that actress was more expressive in her face.
Yeah,
the actress who played in the cartoon. Yeah, no, that voice actress got across more range of character than impassive Rosario Dawson, and like even like this Morgan Elsbeth character or whatever her name is, who's like the queen of the of like the dark side of the Force witches or whatever they are, like strangely non-compelling. And Doomcock may end up being right again. It seems like, I mean, I don't see anything going on in this story that would make me doubt what he's saying about this door open for a female-only Force. Like, the hostility towards traditional Star Wars and making money is so extreme.
Yeah.
It seems like, could it be that she's down to months to her buyout and she wants to sow so much chaos that they just give her the buyout rather than wait her out?
It could be.
That,
it's no telling.
Possibly.
It's almost, if you really wanted to go further, it's like their way of just completely erasing George Lucas's legacy of Star Wars and the Force and replacing it with these
so much worse than erase it. They've like deleted it and ritualized its corpse.
Yeah, they're putting in these Night Sister witches that have magic, so they can bring that in and just get rid of the Force completely.
That was my least favorite Clone Wars story, was the resurrection of Darth Maul through like the proxy story. First, we do the whole thing with his brother Darth, like, was it like Darth Old Spice or Dark Il Savage or whatever the cologne they named the fucking character after was.
Well, you've heard the rumor. What I've heard now, the Mandalorian might be passed off to what's her name now. He's Pasquale might give that role up to the girl that owns the sword now.
So, right.
She's
12 hours.
The sword that's been broken, by the way, because it was destroyed.
I do 12 hours of voice work a year, and I'm going to walk away from that. My name's Pedro Pascal, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, like, they need a female role. She's an awesome character. Now we got to make her the main character now, because female role. What? Why? You...
Cara Thrace was a good character. This is no Cara Thrace.
Yeah. But now we're going to take a little bit of a brief commercial break. So
here we go.
Here we go. If it loads, which it will.
อ้วกเอาฉีดดิ
เช่นไดโฟม
ไม่ตายมึงซื้อยี่ห้ออะไรมาเนี่ย
เช่นไดไงอ้าวมึงจะไปไหน
กำลังกูดิ
กลับไปไหม
อ๋อ จะกลับไปบอกเพื่อน ว่าเชนไรกระจอก
พี่ยังไม่ตาย
ใช่
มันทำอะไรพี่ไม่ได้
ต่อไปนี้ พวกเราจะไม่ตาย
ตาย
That's the best Marvel movie commercial I've seen in like years.
แล้วตาย
I want to see this movie. What's it called? Cockroach Man.
จงไม่บอกพวกทุกตัว พวกเราพร้อมทุกตัวแล้วพี่ บอกพวกมันว่าอะไรพี่ ว่าอย่ามาแตะตัวกูอ้าวเฮีย
แก้ว
เช่นไดโฟมคาบปลวกตาย ตาย
Oh, there we
that
go.
was
That gives
was
me an idea
epic.
for a film.
That
Very
was
accurate
epic.
for a cockroach's perspective, and yet that was better than any Marvel trailer I've seen for like 3 years. Like I was inspired when the cockroach leader spoke to his cockroach like the underlings about cockroaching.
Yep.
At least it made sense.
Better dialogue.
I knew it was. I knew it was happening too. I was like,
yeah, that was oddly epic.
And also like they loaded and fired Chekhov's gun there. Like they set up a scenario that matched our expectations. So it was like set up and payoff there in a way that we don't get. I'm gonna call that Omega Mart commercial some of the most successful modern story making I've seen. Better than anything on Disney Plus.
And Pop, you have to get going?
Yeah, I have to take off, unfortunately. I've got a long day ahead of me.
Well, for all of you guys,
brother, it's great to see you around.
Yeah.
Please subscribe over to Pop Culture Republic, and
thank you.
Well, we'll see you on Friday.
Yeah, definitely. Later, everyone.
See you then, man.
Later. Bye. Killer Rabbit from Space says that needs an Academy Award.
Yes, I agree.
It does. Such pathos.
Is there an Academy Award for cell phone or for irony, right?
Well, apparently to the new Academy Award rules, they are people of diversity. So
you know what? I thought of a way that everyone could have their way on this one. You ready?
Yeah.
Don't affect any other movies. Just create a new category: most wokest picture.
Yes.
Exactly. That would be fine.
And that particular Academy Award would also come with like a year's supply of like Keurig or some other kind of coffee brand, known for like the Quarterings coffee brand. Why shouldn't he get a piece of this?
Or Bud Light. So, but so next in the news, because generally we talk about movies and we try to slip in comics as well on this channel. So this recently came out by esteemed writer Mark Millar, who comments that essentially Marvel and DC and independent comics, which I imagine he's referring to, let's say Image or Dark Horse or whatnot, only makes up 9% of the comic book market in North America.
Yeah, because you're getting owned by the Asian market, the Asian produced comics. You soulless ginger piece.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Apparently, some of the people up and up, people like say, I don't know, just throwing a name up there. Like say, for example, Rob Liefeld thinks that comic sales are just going ahead and just booming away like gangbusters.
Do all American comics combined? Mike, maybe you can answer this. Do all American comics combined sell 100,000 copies a month? Are they selling 1.2 million copies of American comics every year, all total between all?
That's a good number.
That's
like no one's willing to commit to it though. Like people like I could believe it was only 800,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if I told you it was like 100,000, like 300,000 more or 300,000 less, you'd believe me. And with the amount we're talking, like, does anybody believe it was 10 million comics were sold last year? No one.
As a person who still physically collects
10
comics,
million manga was sold.
But as a person that still physically collects comics, so many series don't last anymore. I've had 7 different series all end. The only one constant is Spawn. The rest of them, like they end.
Most people do it in bad faith too. There's a lot of comic book people out there who've been producing comics that like for a year or whatever, and like now just taking the first stumbling, furtive, money raising steps. It's like, I don't have much for you, but you can buy some stuff and give you some more money. And it's like, where's your deadline? Like, what's your production schedule? Like, if especially if it's something we've been hearing about for like a year or something like that. It's the insincerity of a lot of these people doesn't help the overall veracity of any one person.
Yep. So Mark Millar decreed the state of the comic book industry.
I think it's Millar, bro. I think he goes with Millar. No, I think is he Miller or is he Millar? Because I think he's got that A there, so he
It's
might like. We is it okay? I was just wondering if he was maybe Spanish.
No, I don't think so. Anyway, he decreed that the state of comic book industry, in reaction to the news that JHU Comic Books in Manhattan will be shutting down. So back at the end
why
of
are you
August,
operating a business with an overhead that tight in Manhattan, where you could print it anywhere? Passaic, New Jersey, for 1/10 the price. That's stupid.
it is. Back at the end of August, JHU Comic Books announced on Facebook that they would be consolidating their operations and shutting down their stores. Their store in Manhattan. They posted, after 10 years of operation in Manhattan and decades before that as Jim Hanley's universe, JHU Comic Books will be closing down in Manhattan location at the end of September. The store explained the decision. Rising costs have forced JHU.
Just a
recently.
Well, I mean, if you're a whole store in Manhattan dedicated to only one brand of comic, a Marvel store might not even survive unless it had a lot of movie merchandise and heavy promotion. And by the way, the Memory store, that didn't last very long either.
No, not really. But apparently, due to rising costs, it's forced. They're forced to make this choice, and they have decided that the best way to continue to serve New York City comic fans is to focus on the operations of the flagship location, located at 299 New Dorp Lane, Staten Island. So,
that's just an outer borough of New York City. So yeah, you're trucking them in. It's probably half the rent.
Yeah.
But I mean, what you really need is, like, rather than a store that only sells your comics, is to go around and get distributing, get your comics into every neighborhood. Maybe talk to everyone who has a Hallmark store. They sell a lot of collectible stuff, People Magazine, etc.
Exactly. Oh, and hail Anti-Derivative Jill that dropped by. How's it going? Nice
Hail
to see you.
Anti-Derivative Jill. It's nice to see you.
Yeah. No, thank you for dropping by after your show. I really appreciate it. So apparently, while when they made their Facebook post, it says, and while JHU Comic Books is saying goodbye to this location, JHU will continue to offer the incredibly diverse selection of comics and graphic novels and unique service at the Staten Island location, and also via their web store, online subscriptions, eBay, and live social media, video auction, Comic Cons, and more. When Ron Hill...
Nowhere in there does it say that are good, compelling stories and exciting, enjoyable characters that you can relate to or whatever. It just said are diverse. Or, you know what I mean? So like our checkbox stories will continue.
Yep. When Ron Hill and Nate Papura formed JHU Comic Books in the wake of the Hurricane Sandy in 2013, they were faced with an uncertain future. Thanks to the patronage of all of JHU's loyal customers, they were able to continue their livelihood and provide for their families for the past 10 years. A decade is a long time for any small business to survive in Manhattan, and JHU thanks to everyone for their many years of patronage. So they hope to see you at their Staten Island location in the future, just 1 hour away from Midtown Manhattan.
You goddamn idiot. Would you please say a long time for any business to last in Manhattan rather than saying it's a long time to last in New York City? By the way, check us out in New York City. You're just like, you're sounding like you're from the West Coast. Do you even New York, bro? We're not in Manhattan anymore.
I don't know. Maybe not. So,
bring this guy to a Met game and be like, listen, that's Mr. Met. Calm down. He's mayor. Basically, he's the mayor of the city.
Yep. So more recently, the shop announced this Wednesday will be our last day in our Manhattan location at 481 3rd Avenue. A few things to say. First off, from Sunday to Wednesday, all back issues and all pre-2023 publication date trade paperbacks and hardcovers will be half price, Manhattan only. Come get some stuff so we don't have to carry it back. There you go. Get some discount comics.
Walk in there and be like, can I get item number 1? Fuck you. It's like, excuse me, sir, is it Miller or Millar? I've never seen this. Get the fuck out of my store. Yeah, it's not your store much longer. I'll come back tomorrow and it's somebody else's.
You heathen. So they continued. Second, we will be happy to accept anyone who wants to volunteer Thursday or Friday helping us pack. Please reach out to us and let us know. We should be there both
hire
days.
yourself somebody at Home Depot.
Hey, you could get paid in comics. I don't know. So
get the fuck out of here.
could really use some hands on deck and would love to
the
see
hands
some
on
familiar
dick
faces one more time. The shop then concluded, finally, we want to thank everybody and their continued patronage. We wish you all the best and keep reading those comics and don't stop being true believers. So I guess she's
this has
celebrating
become
them
a little
closing.
bit.
I don't know.
This seems to me self-belating, and this is like a problem in the comic industry. It's like we're disingenuous hucksters with a paper-thin sham, or we're okay. It's really hard to tell. All we know is like we're giving away stuff. By the way, we need free stuff to help us move our stuff that can't sell itself, so that we can go somewhere else to spend to lose less money, not selling it.
Yep. Oh,
where's the capitalism in here? It's like, listen, we are the Borg.
Listening and driving, so mostly lurking. Thanks for the show. High Teague, high comic, high dark helmet. No, well,
hi,
Jill.
Just
be careful.
So nice to see you out there.
Just be careful while you're listening and driving. I hope I don't
turn off your cloaking device and turn your headlights on so people can see you.
There we go.
You all know Jill's Karkin, of course, cloak. She's got that technology.
Exactly. And if you want to listen to
cloak her
Star Trek.
Yeah, you want to check out some Star Trek stuff. Yeah, she's around for that too.
Yeah. I mean, besides, of course, you, Admiral Teague.
Well, you know, I'm a different kind of Star Trek show, but yes, she does a great Star Trek show. I, on the other hand, am declaring, I'm going to do right here, right now. I'm going to say it. I declare myself hereby the leader of the largest unsponsored viewing group for New Trek. And it's all ironic and it's all hate watching. And what that says about your product, it says a lot that you just keep cranking this out. And the biggest single group of people watching it are shaking their heads and pointing their fingers in shame.
Nice.
And saving a lot of money.
And also hi to Carla that just dropped in as well. Haha, I win with daylight savings. Yay. And we also got Stephen Ransom. Hello.
You and your metric time.
Exactly. Like, drop, and lurk. Thanks, dude. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's appreciated, Stephen. We hope you're okay. And hello, Carla Burton.
That's right. Yeah.
Carla Burton, don't bother retracting.
Too. Exactly.
People don't bother retracting your statements because we're going to see them anyway. Just correct them in that statement because you can only retract it unless you just want to get it off there. We're going to see it anyway.
Well, that's true too. So, yeah, because I just recently kind of found out that apparently to start to get monetized, you need 500 subscribers and 3,000 watched hours.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Yeah, well, apparently they're changing everything all the time. God. I thought it was like, 4,000 hours yet again and 1,000 subscribers. And, it gets stuck in your head.
Now it's like 3,500 will also do it.
Yeah. So I just kind of found that out on Saturday on Canadian Spider-Man show.
Well, here's
when
the
Andy
thing.
German and Bill came in, it's like, oh, this is the way it is now. It's like, what?
Well, I was reading the terms of monetization, and shall I just say, YouTube monetization is the pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Excellent.
So,
but anyway, just a little bit on this story, if I may. With the Manhattan, I know many other people that have left because Manhattan is expensive now. There's a gentleman, Louis Rossman. I don't know if you heard of him. He's a right repair guy. He has a computer shop. He had to leave Manhattan because it was just too costly to have a shop there. He had to move on the outskirts because it is so expensive in downtown Manhattan. He said, especially after the pandemic, he said prices just went crazy, and it's just
real estate has been skyrocketing in Manhattan and New York City for over 25 years. And if I hadn't been where I am now for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, I would be living in Kentucky playing a banjo and drinking it out of a bottle with an X on it.
So I can see why they probably left because it's financially viable more so. I mean, Kevin Smith, where is his comic shop? Somewhere
he's in Red Bank, New Jersey, which is like, And by the way, New Jersey is a lot different. Like Manhattan
yeah.
is an island. Manhattan is only 12 by 5 miles or something like that.
Yeah.
It's something like 40 square miles or 32 square miles. A lot of it's landfill. You can get like one part to another really fast. Only uptown is still viably residential. There are neighborhoods. Hell's Kitchen's a neighborhood, but like you need like $3,300 a month to live in Hell's Kitchen.
Wow.
For like a one bedroom, definitely.
Damn. So reacting to this recent Facebook post, Millar wrote on X, Jim Hanley's store in New York is closing. Unthinkable. Apparently it was a really popular spot. Who knew? I didn't know. Unthinkable news, and surely to God, a wake-up call to the big two, meaning DC and Marvel, of course. He continued, Marvel, DC, and all the U.S. indie companies added together are now 9% of the American domestic market. How does this happen when the characters are more famous than ever? Yep. Well, I mean, it's a good question, right?
Manga's kicking your ass and giving people the stories and the characters that they want that you won't.
Exactly, right? Because I mean, you know, yeah, and he raises a very good question, because you would think with all the superhero movies that have come out with the MCU, the DCU, you know, and other little you know, superhero-ish type of movies out, you would think that these comics would be selling like blockbusters, right? I mean,
well, Mr. Millar, if that's your real name, I'll have you know that these comics that have been failing as movies, I don't know if you've noticed this, and that we have fast forward through like what would have been kind of another prosperous age, maybe even gotten like lined up with a medal for like the plastic age, and then like, you know, like when no one can die, when everything's a multiverse, when we're booting the same stories over and over and over and over and over, is it any wonder that like the Rippaverse is doing well? It's new.
Well, and good example, if I may quick, good example. Look at One Piece. It's an anime that exploded in people because it's something original, new.
People are liking the show too. People are really liking the show.
Yeah, but anything but DC or Marvel, it's like,
yeah, I know.
So in DC and Marvel now kind of make me shudder with apprehension when I'm reaching for my wallet. Like, you want to see this movie? Like, who is it? It's like it's Blue Beetle, and it's like it's Green Money too. You know, like what's at stake here with this Blue Beetle movie? Tell me more.
Yeah. In a follow-up, he wrote, cut to the usual suspects saying everything is fine, but look at the shelf space in Barnes & Noble. Talk to realtor about cuts he's making. Then he declared a strong Marvel and DC urgently required again for the health of the overall American industry. This is the iceberg tip. No, it's true.
You know, I never thought I'd live to see the day that Barnes & Noble would go from like crime and self-help books and stuff of that nature with one tiny shelf of things like, you know, every single Conan the Barbarian story, like the annual Spider-Man compendium, and you know, like the Spider-Man annuals and all these things on just one shelf. Like, and nothing was hardbound yet. It was almost like, you know, the impulse buy, to the point where they filled the shelves with like novelizations and graphic novels, to the point where it back down to like, we're down to like maybe one aisle, and that will be a shelf soon enough, because people are just like, I can't take it anymore. No one cares about like a lot of these things anymore. It's just, it's unfortunately for the current creator been done to death.
Millar would also provide more details on the state of the comic book industry, revealing that much of the domestic market.
Oh, look, he says what I said.
Yep, by manga sales. He wrote, in response, the big two and the U.S. indies are up, make up 9% of the U.S. comic sales. What are the rest? So he goes to write 79% manga. The rest.
Did I say 90? So I was only off by 11%. Yeah, you don't have to be a fucking expert to nail this shit, idiot.
Nope,
so what are you complaining about, Millar? There's your fucking blueprint for success right there. We've just handed you a map. Use it.
The rest, mostly Dogman. I love Dogman. I love manga. But the complete collapse of the American industry is as devastating as the collapse of the British industry in the 90s for hundreds of American writers and artists. Yep. It's true.
Well, I'm going to be honest. These current movies are the big two have really hurt the industry though too. So some of the trash have been releasing
and the shows.
Yeah, and the shows exactly.
The shows more like She-Hulk has made people want to flee Hulk. I mean, whoa, no one wants to see what happens from the end of that. The last time we see Hulk, he's got a douchebag son. It's like, oh yeah, hi.
Which is sad because the last She-Hulk comic book was actually well done, but they didn't tie it. It was, it's just.
I think they just started a new She-Hulk comic book the last couple of months because somebody pointed out that it had beyond horrible art, and the picture they showed, it looked like a high school kid who couldn't draw.
See, the last one was based after Banner passed away, and she turned gray and she lost her mind. She was like the Hulk, and it was a really interesting introspective of how she found this anger side of her, and she eventually learned why, because Bruce is alive. But it was a really good story.
Trauma Warrior.
But yeah,
Drama Warrior.
I don't know what they're thinking with this. Like they had something with She-Hulk and they ruined that. Like Disney just seems to be the bomb squad on themselves.
Pretty much.
They are just self-owning, calling in air raids, calling in airstrikes, calling in artillery strikes on their own position over and over. Just like best thing we could do, destroy ourselves.
And they're not learning from it. That's the scary part.
No, they're not.
They seem to be learning to double down. Like their tactics have they haven't changed, but they have intensified.
We're not going to lose. We're going to lose more money. We don't care.
Yeah, you would have to say they've intensified their tactics because, like, when confronted with more and more and more evidence that no one wants this and it's failing,
and they'll blame it on the toxic fan base. I'm like, no,
and they're slamming their foot to the floor too, right, Foggy?
Yep.
Exactly, and it's ridiculous. It makes no sense.
How many movies have we had in the last 4 years as opposed to like the 4 years before that, right? It's like between the movies and TV shows, it's like 23 to like 11 or to like 17 or something like that. Or I'm sorry, like 35 to like 17 or something crazy.
Something in their contract. I have to put this much out to push it out, and now they're just getting lazy, just pump it out, and it's trash. So.
And it's been predictably subversive and predictable false advertising too. Like that Moon Knight show, that was not about Moon Knight.
No, not really. Millar previously declared that the comic book industry was in the worst state it's ever been back in August. During an appearance on the Thinking Critical channel, Millar stated, "The retailers, they're struggling out there. They're dying. All my friends and retailers are saying it's never been, they'll never know it as hard as this." Hopefully it didn't,
I know what you're trying to say. It's also the concept of print media is dying too in general. The general aspect of print media is dying. And digital comics, I've tried reading them. I hate digital comics. I didn't know. So it's just,
I mean, imagine the hell of being a comic book creator right now. It's like you must feel like you were born in the wrong time. It's like you were left behind by the Enterprise like time travel away mission. It's like you've got this talent, but it's 35 years too late and definitely 5 years beyond the freshness date, and go for it. I feel bad. It's like some people have poured their hearts into it. Maybe you could still save your story with a novel with like a lot of illustrations, but
probably.
I don't know.
Oh, and Hail the Titan, who just made it just in time. So Hail Titan.
Yeah,
and of course,
assuming you have talent, you can make that adjustment. Yeah.
Well, that's true. Yeah, because oh God. And I hate repeating the same thing over and over and over again. It's because
how dog eat dog must it be for those last few bucks, right? If only 8.1% is American, like we could like enlarge that a little bit. It's like obviously we're talking about Western culture, Western heritage, like countries with a Western tradition. Even Australia, et cetera, are producing X amount, and then like we've got these South Korean and Japanese comics and mangas that are just like absolutely dominating. What did he say, 79%? So only 11% of the total US comic book share is comic books that are made by people from an Eurocentric, let's borrow the words of Reverend Sharpton, a Eurocentric oppressor, or these are Eurocentric people with Eurocentric countries or whatever, are only making up 11% of the comics because they're not making comics that appeal to people who live in their own cultures, right? It's like if I live in America, for some reason, I now relate more strongly to the comic book from South Korea because they got soul. I mean, I guess
the only thing that's primarily holding them up at this point is pretty much the old issues, which they reprint, they put them in hardbound covers, soft covers, or whatever. And they're the classic.
Because we don't know how
issues.
Batman became Batman or how Superman became Superman.
Well, exactly.
We need that one more time.
It was when writing was actually good in the whole entire comic industry that lasts decades, because that's where the talent actually was. There is no talent right now. And that's why, and when you start and it's the same thing with the movie industry and TV and whatnot, when you're starting to introduce all this kind of woke bullcrap. And that's why, for example, that's why Rachel Ziegler just got fired.
Because people are waking up to the woke BS. They're tired of it.
Exactly. They don't want it in their comic books. And that's pretty much the last bastion of hope that you have, because you hope that you can read in peace and quiet by yourself with a comic book, hoping to read an enjoyable story, and then all of a sudden, pow! It just hits you right in the face. It's more friggin' woke bull crap, where they're talking about, I don't know, like Latin X or something like that, or like what they did a few years ago, saying, "Oh, Bobby, Iceman, you're gay." It's like, what? No. Oh, God.
Seth MacFarlane trolled that. Or was it Seth Green trolled that really good in like Robot Chicken, where it was like, I think they both did it right. Like Seth MacFarlane also had the thing where it was like the ice trail led right to the gay bar.
There we go.
And his wife's like, "We need to talk."
There we go. Foggy is the count of knowledge. There you go, by Carl. So
there we go.
But yeah. So should anybody be surprised? No, of course not. And you know how much more worse it gets right here, because I'm going to show you right now. Because Amazon deletes pre-order sales of popular conservative authors Nick Cole and Blaine Pardoe. So again, when you're, and this is why we have Comicsgate, right? And like, for example, the interview with Al Nickerson last week, which I highly recommend that everybody go and watch, is also because near the end, what he was saying, that pretty much being ousted in the comic book industry because of his conservative or Christian values, plus on top of that, being ousted, not fired from the university that he was teaching at because of his views. Well, is it any surprise that everything is slumping? So now, because Amazon is now deleting pre-order sales of these conservative authors, this is also what's going on, and the degradation of pretty much like storylines and comics and whatnot. So, in a bizarre turn of events for the popular Galaxy's Edge novel universe, Amazon has deleted all of the pre-orders of the new book Sergeant Thor. I kind of almost like that title. I've never heard of Sergeant
Nice artwork too.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I mean, yeah,
that
dude looks beefy. So, yeah. So, the ebook listing has been deleted completely with no price or link when searching for the main book, the main page for the book, and an error displaying when clicking on the title. Wow, sorry.
I could have sold that book to I could have sold that to an istophobe and made a lot of money, and you've taken that opportunity away from me. Like, that's why we need physical media.
Exactly. So
no, I mean the people who like change the comic.
Yeah. Pow, right in the kidster since Wendy. Exactly. Carly Burton, yeah. Have they properly canceled Snow White?
No, they see the good news is no more Rachel Ziegler. The bad news is no more Rachel Ziegler, because now we're gonna have someone who knows how to not destroy this and tank it before it gets out there. It looks like the chance of it happening went up because they seem committed to this more than they are to her. Even though they in no way disagree with what she said, she managed to say them the wrong way.
Yep. Dark Helmet, I'm just going to have a catheter inserted. Problem solved. Yeah.
We love you, Dark Helmet.
That's right.
Dark Helmet is right. I'm going to do the same thing.
No,
but why?
Like,
exactly. Now, why? What is wrong with Sergeant Thor? I'm wondering.
I don't know much about Sergeant Thor. Is it Thor mixed with like Captain America? Like, you just like, well, Thor, you're not from America, but we trust you kind of. But you can't be a captain. You can be a sergeant in this man's army. What do you say you go throw some thunderbolts at the big H man himself?
Well, let's find out. This by Heimdall 250. I had a digital book ordered, but Amazon canceled the order. I was able to pre-order the Audible version. With all the asshattery going on with canceling books, I'm starting to order all your forgotten, ruined books in physical form, hardback if possible. I will start with Gala. So apparently,
Meanwhile,
award-winning author Nick Cole also posted about the matter, claiming that it isn't the first time Amazon's deleted his pre-orders.
let's face it, from the people who stand by Rings of Power, we're getting this. Fucking hell.
Oh, God. So this has happened before. It's like a pattern, he said. He also claimed that Amazon is agreement incapable, violating their terms of use by taking unilateral action to remove sales of his and Jason Anspach book. God, sorry if I'm butchering that name, but both of their books, basically. So
nothing says I'm sorry I'm butchering that name when I'm sorry I'm butchering you. Ladies and gentlemen, just may I say on my friend's behalf, this is not easy. We don't like anybody can turn on their phone and just like go on a rant. Like Mike does an actual show where he reads stuff, and like that is, believe it or not, like a lot more difficult than you might imagine than when we do it off the cuff.
That's right.
Now, I, of course, as we have covered many times, cannot read it all. But Mike, like he's got to read, he's got to produce, doing a few things.
I'm trying. So, Battletech and Blue Dawn author Blaine Pardoe followed up mentioning he's had similar problems with Amazon, and he believes these deletions are politically motivated. He says the exact same thing happened with the pre-orders for Blue Dawn. There are other instances of big tech interfering with conservatives. Another conservative author found that some sort of glitch had boosted the price of his book to over $400 a copy.
What?
Yes, it had a huge impact on people buying his book. It's hard to get people back once they're scared off. Damn. I would have loved to see that post. So,
yeah.
He continued, make no mistake, this is big tech waging monkey warfare on conservative creators and conservative publishers. It happened with Defiance Press. It's happened to Wargate. No one is ever found to be accountable for these inconveniences.
And even to your beloved, everyone's favorite Star Trek YouTuber, your beloved Admiral Teague, suffers under a shadow ban and the oppression of YouTube.
Damn them all. This is why I really want to get on Rumble's porn. Like, oh God, this is why everybody needs to go to Rumble and check me out more on Rumble, because we got to take away even from YouTube itself. And I know that I'm using YouTube right now as a platform, but for some odd reason, I guess something is going on at Rumble, and I was trying to simultaneously cast on Rumble.
It can be crashy. You know what? The one thing, the biggest favor you can do yourself is don't try to broadcast in high definition.
Yeah, that too.
I found my show doesn't like 720 is fine for my show. And it's I've never dumped off the air.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've never dumped off the air. I've had one show. Like Rumble is really weird. Like for a while, like your views are strange, and it takes like a whole day for it to justify like itself. But just is compressing the numbers. It's strange, but it beats. It's always satisfying to look over at those Rumble numbers and see how nice they are, and they're very reassuring, especially if you're doing all right on YouTube to begin with. But way of the future, freedom of speech. Gotta love Rumble.
The Titan says, wokeness is a mind virus which destroys, and Amazon is not immune. Cancellation games are why Rippaverse and Compass Comics are doing so well. Exactly. Oh,
bravo,
and,
my friend. Well said.
Hail to Flip City Magazine.
Hell, Flip City.
I love these guys. Man, I like the
monkey
term
warfare.
warfare.
You know what? Is he trying to say that it's very low tech guerrilla warfare?
I'm thinking it's more like,
is that what monkey warfare means?
Probably, yeah. Throwing their proverbial feces around.
Oh, I thought it was kind of a play on words because, like, we know like homonyms, gorilla and guerrilla. Like I thought maybe he meant like monkey warfare, like as like a even more primitive and obscure and like dumb form of like guerrilla war.
Exactly. I want to say also, though, that everybody please check out Flip City Magazine, okay? Because these guys are totally awesome. All right. Totally awesome. These guys are like the cracked or mad magazine of battling woke culture. My God, if anything, you guys need to check out their magazine. Go subscribe to their magazine. Like, damn, check out the video that I did, like, I believe it was like a couple of months ago or something like that. These guys are awesome. And they will also send you a tinfoil hat to wear while you're reading their magazine as well. So, yeah.
Whoa.
Thank you, Flip City Magazine, for showing up.
I'll
I really
put that
appreciate it.
on the shelf next to my Devo plastic hair.
Ah, there we go. Yeah. So, Amazon mysteriously doesn't have backups on of these pre-orders. Of course they wouldn't, right? Because they are simply lost
Sit on
to
a
the
throne of
ether.
lies.
The people that suffer beyond are the publishers, and the authors are the fans of these franchises. This is why there are publishers like those I write for. Companies like Wargate and Defiance exist because conservatives have targets on their backs. The workers at these tech companies, damn you, Train, feel sabotage is a legitimate way to censor people whose values they disagree with, he asserted. They know there is no ramifications for their actions because they will never be caught. Not exactly it, right? Because who are they accountable to? Well, just themselves. And, they don't give a damn if they cancel your book. If they don't like your politics, we'll just delete you and, disappear into the ether like you never existed. And this is what they hope for. And this is why we're seeing the suffering of many an industry right now, like we previously mentioned, with comic stores shutting down or having to move or basically like downsize because nobody wants to buy the crap anymore.
I gotta say something. This is just
go ahead.
It legitimately pisses me off because art should not be left or right. Art should be art. Let the people get the word out there and enjoy it no matter what. Even if it's about something completely crass, whatever, it's art. Let it go. Get politics out of the art. I mean, you can bring it in to tell a story, but you shouldn't. I don't get it. What happened to freedom of speech?
I don't even mind if it's political. If you could like make it something like really like something like inspiring or beautiful, like the Statue of Liberty is probably political.
Oh, exactly. Oh, the art itself.
Do I mind it? Not really.
Telling a political story, but I'm saying they're like the sale of it. If it's too left, if it's too right, no. How about just don't worry about that? Let the fans decide if they like it or not. Let your sales decide.
I think what we also lack though is a unifying force in the middle, saying like hey, some of us are left, some of us are right, but we're all like a Team USA here. We all bleed red, white, and blue. It's like it's not. We don't have that anymore.
Which is sad because I'm left, Mike's right. We're good friends. We have. I'm more middle now. A lot of people think I'm more middle. I still like to think I'm left, but the extreme left, I want to shoot them.
You can't do this from. You can't do this for more than a few weeks and have it start to affect your political worldview.
It's just ridiculous. It's just
exactly.
Am I the same person who started doing this a year ago? No.
Yeah,
not really.
Carla Burton, anyone who doesn't agree with their ESG die is all right wing.
She's right.
Now, she's right.
Exactly. There's extreme on both sides that just want to hate the other side. I'm like, no.
I would say this. Yeah, we should all be we should all try to be moderate in all things. And like, I guess the way I prove it the most is like, now my thing is I really like favor people's ability to be able to express themselves more than I have in the past. And I like to have friends with multiple perspectives because, hey, otherwise I'm just like only getting part of the story, and I'm free to regard what I'm told by people any way I want. Sometimes I hear things from people and I believe them. Sometimes I hear things from people and I think about them twice, but I do want to hear them. Want a chance to hear it myself.
That's the way it should be. Like, I don't care if you're left or right. If you're a good person or not, that's all that matters to me. So.
And also, yeah, like and where are you coming from? Like, sometimes people I love say things I disagree with. Sometimes people that I don't envy that much end up being right here and there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll own that.
This is censorship, is what it is.
It is.
It's
what I won't do is say I'm not going to listen to so and so because they're from this perspective. I'll still listen to them. Yeah. Although it's like you can reach a point where you're no longer from that perspective. That perspective is just more about what you're about than anything else. And I tend to write people like that off a little faster when you're just like leading with your politics. But
you know what this is? Yeah. This is them wanting people to control it for them. They don't want to think for themselves. Like, how about you don't like it? Don't buy it. Let somebody else.
Well, how bad is this left? Because the lack of moderation on the left is now so out of control that, of all people, Governor Goodhair there had to like shoot down like a crazy woke law the other day that was out of control, insane, sounded insane. Like if you had won with that woke law, if that woke law had succeeded, like if you kept winning like that, you surely would have like a few more victories like that. You surely would have been undone. That was one stinkeroo law, man. He was smart to shoot that down, that bill.
1 sec. Wendy, thank you for dropping by. Really, really appreciate it, Wendy. And thanks for everything you do. She has an incoming helicopter coming, trauma helicopter.
Wendy, go with God.
Godspeed as well. Yes.
The world needs you.
Yes.
That's right. The Titan says, hold on a second here. The Titan says, well, the far left dedicated themselves to destroying institutions that unified us. Yeah. But that's Marxism 101, divide and conquer. I would even go as far as saying it's Maoist.
Yeah.
Really. Because
it's from the new, I would call the Trudeau Nouveau communist
well, yeah,
manifesto.
Pretty much. Yeah. Because what did Mao do? Mao, he ended up taking the young people. That was the key, right? He took young people, and especially
we're safe. That's fine. I'm a Maoist.
He took kids, and he took a lot of females. And what did they do? They ended up like beating like the elderly, for example. And on top of that,
okay, wait, I want to retract that. Then, yeah, no.
They also started bullying the teachers that didn't toe the Marxist agenda. Right? Really the Maoist agenda. And this is what you're seeing. Boy, does it sound familiar about what's going on in schools and stuff like that are like towing the line for this whole
any far political ideology is too much. Even far right and far left. When you get too far off, it goes extreme on both sides. And this is censorship. Again, this is soft censorship, as I call it. Because we're not censoring it. No, you are. If you're gonna read another story, you're creating censorship.
And I also want to say hail to John Rental that just showed up as well. Hail John, my Fez brother. So next, Blaine says he shared with his readers, how can you fight back? Buy the books from conservative authors, pick up books from these publishers, talk with the clout of your money. Support the authors who are out there on the front lines fighting to provide you with good, entertaining content. Promote the books of conservative authors on your social media. Give them meaningful reviews. Be a warrior like Sergeant Thor. So similar problems with pre-order deletions have occurred in the past with conservative and Christian authors. John De La Rose.
That just sounds so Stalinist, that term.
It does.
A pre-ordered deletion, Lord.
Yes, pre-ordered deletions.
They are forward with the pre-ordered deletions of the Jedi.
The author of this article and Declan Finn, as chronicled by PJ Media back in 2019, Silver Empire publisher Russell Newquest stated at the time, Amazon's claiming, I didn't get the final files uploaded in time, but that's total BS. I had the files for both uploaded weeks ago. Combat Frame X Seed author Brian Niemeyer said he'd also had problems with Amazon, blogging about how Amazon has messed with the search algorithm to make his books unfindable. KDP has been messing with my popular Combat Frame X Seed series, he said. for some reason, they're bundling books into series that don't go together. Wow. So with yeah, exactly. So with many Christian and conservative authors now facing the same problems at Amazon with over a period of years, many are speculating Amazon's moves are politically motivated. Well, it's certainly looking that way, I gotta say. With popular conservative culture war movements spawning out of science fiction and comic books with Iron Age and Comicsgate, the gatekeepers of culture would have a motive to try to hamper the sales of right-leaning authors by purging their pre-sales and making discoverability more difficult. So yeah, because it's a long article and I know it's slowly getting to time, so I'm going to try to finish this up. The problem authors face is that Amazon is a near monopoly in book selling. Attempts to sell fiction novels on other platforms or on one's own website are extremely difficult with such a vast
good news
percentage
now
of
is that Amazon isn't exactly giving those books away anymore. Like the average price of a book on Amazon is not exactly cheap.
Yeah, no, exactly. With such a vast percentage of the book buying audience reading on Kindle, well, that's true. Amazon has capitalized.
A lot of the books are free
Kindle.
if you just own a Kindle. Yeah,
that's right. Have capitalized on this with their Kindle Unlimited program, forcing authors to sell their books at page turn rates, which only get them about a third of the revenue of an actual sale of the book much of the time, and keeping them exclusive contracts for ebooks for the privilege. Well, that's kind of true because if anybody knows anyone out there with Raquel over at Clobberin Times, with her selling her books, I'm trying to think because right now I can't quite remember.
What's that, Con?
Yes, I wonder. Talking about comic books.
We love Clobberin Times.
But you know that Raquel over there, she's trying to sell her series of science fiction stories. And when she was selling on Amazon, I'm trying to accurately remember because I don't exactly want to misquote the price, but I believe it was about for a soft cover or a hardcover. I think it was around maybe the $20 mark or something like that. If anybody in the chat remembers, please admonish me if I get it wrong. But
and also at the bottom of the chat right now is the Clobberin Times link, which is a great show. You might want to sub it.
But when she got the record back of the sales that she was making, because she was making quite a bit of sales, she literally, I think for about 100 books that she sold, she literally got less than $1 from Amazon for the
Amazon
actual sale of actual books.
And they may pull a clause on your book where they say it's free with Kindle, and then I don't know if you get paid for your non-sold copy of your book. It's just available to people. I don't know what you get for that.
It's just essentially a raping, right? You can't make really any money whatsoever unless you're a New York bestseller author or something like that.
I've got one of those things going for me. You know what? There's someone who's like I'm not like on like best terms with, but they wrote a book and that was on Amazon, and I looked and it was like free with Kindle. So I like just grabbed it and like read like 5 pages of it, and I was lolling at what they had to say, but at the same time I felt bad for them because they had wrote this book and like here it is just free on Kindle.
Crap, John! I just saw that. Apparently, his brother-in-law just passed away yesterday. So, John, sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
My condolences.
I'm trying to keep up with the chat and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sorry, man, for hearing that. Really, truly, I am. So, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I feel bad for you, man.
That's all we can say is that we're sorry. And John Rendell, from the Saving Star Trek chat and other chats, and we see him around the internet. Always very nice. Always very friendly. And I'm sorry that this thing has happened to you, and hopefully you and your family come out the other side, as soon as possible with may their memory be a blessing and come out the other side,
Exactly. Soon. Pop Carla actually had to leave a little bit early, so that's why he's not here. So just to let you know.
I've done put that in the chat.
There we go. Yeah, the Titan in U.S. terms, left and right is about the size of government. Further left you go, the bigger you feel government should be, as in government controlling the means of production. Right is smaller government. Well, yeah, I mean, that's true.
The thing is that they say that, but functionally, I think they've proven that, like, and by the way, like left, right, north, south, east, west, all points of the compass equally useless, to paraphrase Dr. No. But it does, like with George W. Bush, we had like the hugest government ever, and he was just like, that belongs to history now. It's not a current event thing. It's just like that doesn't. It's not. Is it any wonder that people in this country are frustrated? Like when the big government party, like they sometimes end up giving you, as a small government party, sometimes ends up with a really big government, and accidentally goes nanny state. And then with the other party, like we see how kooky their ideas are. Like basically Disney is running like a fundraiser for the most extreme. I guess the good news is Star Trek siphons off that money, right? The people who would fund the most radical political candidates now executive produce Star Trek.
Yeah. And Carla, thanks for dropping on by. Really, 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 really appreciate it. John, I'm sorry if I'm fudging it, but sometimes it's just hard to say what to say, really. So, but yeah, we'll be praying for your nephew and all that good stuff, man. I'm really sorry to hear that. Really, truly, I am. So, so with big tech seemingly putting a wrench into sales, conservative authors have little recourse now and have to play the Amazon game. Regardless, authors like Nick Cole are building their own spaces to sell books directly to customers, but it still hampers sales to be unable to promote on the world's biggest storefront. Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, how do you outdo Amazon, really?
It's hard when you're an independent artist. You rely on the bigger ones to help get your name out there, but when they're doing that, it's, excuse the term, bullshit. It's like,
it is.
It's probably taken a lot of the enjoyment and a lot of the inspiration out of being an author, right? Turned it into a clicks game almost.
Yeah. As a publication, Amazon has restored the Sergeant Thor title on their website. However, it's unclear if they've restored the lost pre-orders. So, wow.
It's also unclear if I'll be able to figure out how to play Starfield, but that's another story. But yeah, wow.
I still can't wait to play that. But yeah, but before you can continue, let me say, actually, a gentleman who has a book on sale on Amazon, I don't know if they've done it, check out War of the Hunted Book 1, Scarred Soul by Mark C. Pedersen. He's a friend of mine. He's got three volumes up as of now, and it's good sci-fi.
Grab his link off Amazon and throw it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not somewhere.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, exactly.
That looks cool. I'm sorry, that cover looks cool.
That does look cool.
It does.
Yeah. It's a little vexing. It's as cool as the title is strange. It's a little bit strange. It's like two familiar things.
Because I want to see what this is all about. I want to see what this is all about to, cause this in the first place, right? So, the whole rundown here. One ranger leads the way. A U.S. Army Ranger sniper finds himself on his own and on the move, far down range beyond the wire.
He's a lone ranger. Okay.
He's a lone ranger. And beyond the wire, in an epic fantasy world filled with deadly monsters and dangerous foes, in a total battle royale for glory, horde, and flat-out survival. Adrift on the seas of riddles, in a lost and dangerous world of epic fables, Sergeant Thor and his anti-material sniper rifle, Mjolnir, even though that's the incorrect way to pronounce Mjolnir, and I can't actually pronounce it in the actual Swedish because I'd probably get a coronary occlusion. Must survival, brutal pirates, darkest sorcery, and a catastrophic shipwreck on his... Oh, man, my throat is getting sore from doing that.
When you said the word horde, when you said the word glory and then horde, in the middle of the word horde, it really was... I thought you were going to be going another way with that word. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, if you want
the glory hole,
medieval, yeah. Let's see. Shipwreck
oh
on a
my
strange
God.
island, steeped in arcane mystery and containing the remains of a lost civilization, guarding an ancient artifact of great and terrible power. Grim enemies and intrigue abound. In order to defeat a pirate necromancer and his army from the east, seeking to manipulate a battle between the warring fates, this elite tip of the spear warrior must use his modern warfighter skills and battle-tested leadership to form an unlikely savage fighting force to pit against heavily armed enemies, all too real, and for some, far more fantastic than the myths and epics of long ago past. In the dangerous fantasy world, one man must move farther, faster, and fight harder than foes seeking to kill him with might, magic, and treachery, and by whatever means possible. But U.S. Army Rangers don't die easily. Swords and sorcery meets modern warfare in this epic fantasy world, both familiar and new. So really, what's so bad about that?
I want to read it now. That sounds cool.
It's
By the way, that was Duke. That Duke Nukem voice was
fairly
awesome.
intriguing. Yeah,
exactly. So really, what is the problem with a story like that? It's
Actually,
a meshing of both modern warfare.
Sounds
and
better than
beats
new woke Hellboy and the Golden Horde hole. Golden hole, the glory, golden glory horde.
Golden glory hole.
Yeah. It
Carla,
sounds better.
I'll be in the States. Okay. I'll be with a husband and 6 kids over and out. Okay, awesome, dude. But dude, oh god. Okay. Anyway,
you missed us brainstorming on the concept of that Nicolas Cage would be what was it, JFK?
Yeah, that too.
I can't believe that Castro fucked with me again.
But what's so bad about a story like this? Really, honestly, tell me.
The title could be better, but the story sounds fine.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a hokey title, but I mean, it's not outside the tradition of comic books.
It looks cool. The artwork looks awesome.
Yes, the artwork is really cool.
Yeah,
I
want to see this as a graphic
That'd be a good video game too. Like, damn,
it would.
I'd play that. Holy crap!
I mean, it looks like we've got like. Isn't it like wouldn't another way to put Sergeant Thor be Road Warrior Conan?
Ah.
Right? Like he's Road Warrior Conan.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so as we're going to be landing this ship anyway, I put the link in the chat there. Go check it out if you guys want to buy it. So, because honestly, there seems to be nothing wrong with this whatsoever. It's just a dude fighting incredible odds, in a kind of a fantasy magic land. So, with modern warfare tactics, I don't see what the problem is. So as we're closing out, Admiral Teague, anything to plug there, dude?
Oh, hi. Hey, it's me, your buddy Admiral Teague. I'll be coming at you on Thursday afternoon, Eastern Drive Time with Yellowstone, and Saving Star Trek this Friday and Sunday, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. respectively. We'll be having a really interesting interview with someone from the let's just say the YouTube sci-fi community. It's a surprise. I think you'll all love it. And I hope that you'll join me. My link's in the chat. My name's Admiral Teague.
There we go. And Foggy Brains, what do you got up for bid?
We got new stuff happening. I'm trying, as people notice, I put the video game stuff up there. We're going to expand. I might be trying a new Skyrim, maybe a little bit else. So besides that, we're just keeping the regular going, trying to make people laugh and forget their problems of their day.
Nice. Awesome. And I want to thank everybody that showed up in the chat today.
Thank you all.
Really appreciate it, guys.
Exactly.
I want to thank Dark
We love you all.
I want to thank Killer Rabbit from Space, Stark of Iron that also showed up as well. Oh, and of course, Pop Culture Republic, who was here earlier, that had to leave earlier. Captain Finity that showed up. Gap After Dark. We also had him that showed up as well. Thank you, Gap After Dark. Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. Thank you, dude, for showing up. Really, really like you here. Really appreciate you for being here too. So been having some interesting talks with him. JRC 99, everybody's
We love you, buddy.
favorite patriot virgin. And new guy also, William Palmieri, that showed up as well. Hail to you, dude. Thanks for dropping by. Really appreciate it. And of course, we had Anti-Derivative Jill, who was driving and more than likely probably still driving. And hopefully, I didn't distract you too badly. Stephen Ransom, who was lurking and dropped a like. So, everybody, please out there, I hope you drop a like. Really, really, really helps me out.
Like and subscribe.
Please hit the like and follow buttons for our good friend Mike, the Comic Relief Crusader.
Exactly. So hopefully sometime soon I can make it to monetization, because I need 3,000 hours and I'm pretty much a little bit over halfway there. So please help me out. I would really appreciate it. Carla Burton, that was also here, and everybody's favorite warrior of the Trauma Ward, Wendy Trauma Warrior, that was also here. We had the Titan that also showed up. Greatly appreciate you, dude. And Flip City Magazine. Please, everyone, go check them out. Check out their book, man. I swear to God, you will get a laugh out of it, especially their latest Picard comic that they put out like just recently.
Oh God!
So, oh
it's
yeah,
serious. Is it ironic or is it serious?
I know, right?
Allegedly serious.
It was so good. And don't forget, with Flip City Magazine, they will also send you your own customized hand-folded tinfoil hat as well.
Fucking Biden in space.
Yeah. And John Rendell,
idiot robot.
Dude,
stupid robot.
we'll be praying for you, man. I'm sorry to hear what happened, in the family there. So, please, if you need to reach out, we are all here for you. So, if you need to talk, we will be here for you, man. So yeah, just please take care, and take care of your family as well. So really, really, really hope that things go better for you, man. So so thank you all for showing on up here on a Titillating Tuesday. Stay tuned for any kind of video that might be coming up on a Thursday. Don't know what it is, but it'll be a surprise to me as well as you guys. And tune back for a Frantic Friday. And also on a Frantic Friday, I'm going to try to have some sort of funny anime deal going on. So you won't know what it is, but you'll have to stick around for the end of the show to see what it will be, because we'll be poking fun at another anime franchise, because, well, that's what we do. And because we have to end the week on a laugh. So, can't be serious all the time.
Join me for a week.
Exactly. So from everybody here on the panel to every one of you guys out there in the chat, really, really appreciate you guys for joining in and just having fun with the rest of us. Please hit the like button. It really helps out the algorithm. Hit the like button. Yeah, I already said hit the like button. I'm saying it twice.
Hit the like button. Share this stream. Tweet it out there. Tell your friends. We want you to tell your children about us. When you know what? 30 years from now, when your grandchildren ask you what you did during the Great Culture War, you won't have to say, well, I shoveled horse shit in Louisiana. You can say I was there with the Comic Relief Crusader and Toby Foggy Brands and Admiral Teague, and we waged war on the woke.
Exactly.
And I even let the dragon out to help. He's still in his cave, so I'll let him out. And he can
because
I'll have no cowards in my army.
Because being here is being better than having to be Hillary Clinton's gynecologist.
Oh God!
So from everybody here on the panel to all of you out in the chat,
does that count as spelunking?
Sure, we'll go with that. So stay tuned for Frantic Fridays at the end of the week, same time, same channel. We will see you guys later. See ya.
Take care,
back, Bennett.